I have a hard time sometimes checking back in with someone who I haven't talked to in a long time. There are some people you can pick up where you left off perfectly. Like, perfectly. Like, even when you call them, you're like, as I was saying. It's been 4 years, but you remember where you left off. And then there's other people where it's like you got to find your footing again. You know? And it's really difficult, at least in the way that we've structured things right now, for men to have very close, intimate friendships with other men. And it's tough because people talk about this epidemic of male loneliness. I'd like to get to the bottom of why men are lonely, because there are men everywhere. It's kind of crazy that there's millions of men and they're all lonely. It seems like they should meet the men that are also lonely. It's a lot of men to be lonely. Imagine 100 million people feel by themselves. Seems fixable. One would hope. But some of it is just like the way that men make friends. There are very few, especially you're talking about your intimate, your strong friendships. There's very few categories and very few ways to go down that road with another man. Is usually one of a few things. Your best friend as a man is usually one related to you, maybe. That's my brother. Didn't even need to make a friend. My parents made him for me. So we sort of rolled together since we were little, because he was right there. So how you gonna not? That's like when people like hate their brothers, I'm like, oh, he must have put some work in then, because by default, y'all should have been at least chilling. And then there are men who become intense friends through a shared trauma, like a war buddy. Like you may not have even been compatible in the outside world, but you went through something that was so distinct to your experience that the only other person that gets it covers so much ground for you that now y'all can be best friends because you went through this thing together. And then the third way is kind of like the brother thing. You just known each other for a long time. I mean, we took civics class together, and that was that. I don't get out much. And even within your friendship, because this is the thing about real loneliness. You don't have to have no friends to be lonely. You can be lonely within the relationships that you have. It's about letting people in, and it's hard as guys for us to really let someone in, because there's a thing that we're battling all the time. Some of it's social, some of it's like learned, it's conditioned, and then some of it is not knowing how to express the stuff that's inside. So you're in a really tense place as a guy sometimes, and any little thing can knock you off of a good track you have with a friend. Like a hug. It's a dangerous thing. Hugging as a man. Going in too quick. Looking a little thirsty. We gotta be really specific about our hugs as men, It's on the top of mind, even if you don't think it is. It's surface level, but it's top of mind. You get a weird hug from a friend, it could change your whole relationship. And most of it is like learned over time. As a baseline, you're good to go, right? Especially if you go in for that one palm first, boom, right here, bring it in, very manly. Bow, you bang shoulders together. Whoever shoulder breaks first loses. That's my boy. Bow, bow, right? You want to make it extra painful, you go in with the other hand. Bow, bow, bow. I remember one time I went in, hugged my buddy, hands out, bow. Good loud clap too, real manly stuff. People that we didn't know heard that pop from across the room. Pow! Went in for the hug, boom! Messed up both our shoulders. And if I'm being honest, it all went awry at the end because I don't know where his mind was at. But, he went to, close it off, last hand on the back. But for some reason, it was a little low, like. Just so you understand what I went through. We were going in for the hug, bow. I bring it in, bow. He comes around. Mid-hug, I'm like, sir. He immediately like, yeah, my bad, dog. I didn't mean to, it was great, wind. And depend on who you are and who it happens with could knock the whole friendship out of whack forever. That's how delicate it is. And it's tough sometimes, tough to make friends as a man. Like even if you really rock with somebody, you really respect them, you really admire them, and you might even tell them so, but you don't know how to cross over that next level to really be a friend. And because it's not often communicated, a lot of men don't know they have friends. You have people that you're cool with. But then, if somebody asks them and somebody asks you, you're both like, yeah, I guess we're friends. I mean, yeah, he cool. Like, what'd he say about me? Like, he cool. Like, I mean, like, I like Buddy. Like, he cool and everything, and I'm sure he think I'm cool. But like, I think we're friends. But it's also cool if we not. Like, if we're not friends at all. Like, I don't care. We could be enemies for all I care. Like, let's get it. Oh, it's true. And then, sometimes you don't realize how hard it is to make friends until you look around and you're like, oh, I don't feel like I have many. It's a thing that can happen subtly. It's not something that comes all at once. You look around and you're like, oh, who would I really call if I was in trouble? Maybe just a few people, maybe genuinely. There's no one you feel comfortable making that call to, And so you want to make friends, but it's tough to go out there and try to make friends as a man sometimes. And it doesn't have to be, but just think about it. Like, dudes always act like they don't know what they mean when a woman is like freaked out by a guy coming on too strong, but let a man just try to be your friend. As a man, walk up to another man and be like, I like your jeans. See how it goes. I'm sure it'll be fantastic. You know what I mean? But that's my thing. That's my thing, is that we're in a place now where, for the most part, it doesn't have to be this hard. We have online friendships. We have friendships that we can make in person. There's no reason for people to feel lonely. And women try to help. They do. You ever had your girlfriend try to make you some friends? It's one of the most demoralizing. It's one thing when you little. When you're like a little kid and you're weird. Like I was weird and I was a little kid and my mom was like, let me get him some help. Let me find some other weirdos. They can be weird together. It becomes very different when you're like 30. And someone who has made the choice to love you slowly starts trying to set you up with just any other man so you have someone to talk to besides her. Which is just like so fundamentally what it is. Like it's just sadly a woman who's like, I can't hear everything. Some of this gotta be for the locker room, please. Men are out here so lonely. We got women tried to set us up for locker room talk just so it won't be talked to them for like an hour. And getting set up on like a boyfriend play date is one of the saddest experiences because as men, you both know why you there. You both sitting here now, knowing why you here, and both y'all acting too good for each other. Like, both y'all sit here like, yeah, you know, the game was crazy last week. I got friends, just so you know. Like, I don't even know why she doing this. Like, yeah, I got people to talk to. And then buddy over here is like, yeah, you know, sports. Yes, the team is doing well, but not as well as we would like. We hope that they will do better, but they have won some games. We hope they win more. Sports. I also got friends. Like, I don't know why my girl, like, I don't know why our girl went with that. That's just them being obsessed with us when we not around for her to tell you about me and me about you. You know, there's no need, you know, like we could just watch the game, you know, together without it being something, being weird or anything. Do you want to watch the game though? Because I think it'd be a good one if you want to. Yeah, no, I'd love to watch the game. I'd love to. This is nice, dog. This is nice. Because it doesn't have to be this way. Your friendships are incredibly important, and I think seeking them out is a very important business to make in life. Seeking out good friendships, seeking out people that make you a better person. It will make you richer than anything you could have ever imagined because friends take care of you. There are times where you don't know what's going to happen to you, and there are people who you didn't need to call, you didn't need to ask, they just show up because they care about you. Those things are incredibly important, and a lot of men feel like they're missing in their lives, and is once again wild because there are a lot of men. I feel like we could get to the bottom of it pretty quickly. Just looking around, you know? Because a lot of what makes that loneliness is a cycle. It's a hamster wheel of somewhat our own making. You know, you're on this thing because you don't feel loved and you don't feel lovable. And when you don't feel loved and you don't feel lovable, you usually don't behave in a way that makes you more lovable to people. You usually don't open up, and so you're acting in a way that becomes more antisocial. It pushes more people away. So the people that you would have got just by happenstance, they get pushed away, and then there are actively people in your life that you try to be close to. You push them away as well, and then by the fact that you push so many people away, it reconfirms to you the thing that you told yourself about yourself. And so you just stay on that wheel, and it is simple to get off. It's not easy, but it's simple. You just step off of the wheel and you walk up to a guy that you respect and you say, I like your jeans. Like, this is cool. They're really cool. Like, I don't know, you're like cool. And one of the reasons that is simple but not easy, one of the reasons it's scary to do is because there seems to be such a lack of accepting that thing, of accepting that love, of accepting someone wanting to be there for you, take care of you and everything. It's very hard to get in. And look, once you're there, you're there. Once you're there, you know, I know a lot of loyal men, and you'll have a friend for life, but there's some walls, you know? Like, one thing that I've seen is a rabbit hole that I've fallen down that I enjoy very much is this trend of men calling to wish their friends good night. And it encapsulates everything that I'm saying. It's one of the most fascinating things to watch. Basically, if you haven't seen this yet, people are recording, usually the girlfriend or wife is recording their husband or boyfriend calling his friends to say goodnight. That's it. That's literally it, and it's one of the most fascinating things you can watch, because there are as many reactions as there are like faces on a diamond. Like, you cannot predict what's going to happen, and you will be surprised every single time. Because they'll call, and one of those calls, they answer, "Hey, what's up?" "Nothing. What's up with you, man?" "Oh, not much. You know, I was just calling, about to go to bed and everything, so I just want to wish you good night." The first one I watched, I just want to call and wish you a good night, you know, just have a good night. And the guy was like, "What?" No, I was just saying, call and wish you good night. Like, you know, hope you have a good night too. Sleep tight, dream sweet dreams and everything. What? And this reaction comes because the last time that a man heard those words, he was a boy. And it was his parents. And that's if it ever happened. So a lot of men don't know how to handle it. It's literally like, yeah, I'm just saying, like, sleep tight, you know, night and everything. Huh? Not even kidding. In the call, what are you doing? Nothing. I'm just about to nod off and everything. So I was saying, you know, have a good night. You know, I'll see you when I see you. Like, I gotta go. Another one of my favorites. Another one that genuinely filled me with joy. This dude called and he was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" "I'm good. How you doing?" Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm just about to nod off and everything. So I'm, you know, just wanted to wish you good night, say sleep tight, you know, sweet dreams and everything. dude on the phone went, what? Night. What you mean good night? You would not believe how many men said, what do you mean good night? What do you mean good night? He's like, oh yeah, no, I'm just about to go to bed, sweet dreams and everything. And he's like, yo, you good? Are you good? Dog, for real, are you good? And for the rest of the phone call, he could not convince his friend he wasn't kidnapped. It's like, yeah, dog, no, I'm good, I'm chilling. I'm just, about to nod off. We haven't talked in a while, so I want to say night, night, wish you sweet dreams and everything. And he's like, oh, they got you? Ooh, okay. Let me know where you at. Where you at? No, I'm at home. I'm just saying, like, sweet dreams and everything. Like, I hope you sleep well, like, sleep tight and everything. Like, I won't let you die, dog. Where you at? No, I'm right now. Just send me the address. Like, put in code or something. Like. Totally different call. This dude called. Wish this dude good night. He was like, hey, I just want to say good night. Sleep dreams. Hope you, have a good night and everything. And the dude said, huh? Yeah, just good night. Hope you have a good night. Yo, what you mean good night? It's like, I'm just saying good, like, have a good night, like sleep well. He's like, why you calling me telling me that? Like, you call me like I'm like a side chick or something. What you doing? I was like, no, dog, I just wanted to wish you, a good night. I hope you sleep well, sleep tight and everything. Hey, I really feel like you're being disrespectful right now. And one of the reasons I feel like this is such a phenomenon is because I'm not saying that women even do this all the time, but the way that women are friends with each other has a lot more of these little things in it. It's the little checkups. It's the little, like, how you doing, how you been. It's the little chats that is usually missing in male friendships, which makes a lot of men not really know where they stand with other men. Like, you'll be friends with somebody. You'll be considered a friend by somebody, but you won't be sure. You'll be like, no, I like him. And we hang out once in a while, but like, he's like my other friend's brother. So if you ask him, I guess he'd say we're friends, but it's also cool if he doesn't. Like, I don't care. I ain't care. I'm not pressed about that. Like, maybe we friends, maybe we not. I don't know. It's cool either way. If you want to be enemies, we could do that too. Because that's the thing. It's just how we show love is very specific. Like, I've watched my girlfriend tell her girlfriends, love you, easily. Not another thought. Love you is bye, love you middle conversation, whatever, right? And as men, we rarely say, I love you to other men, especially that we're not related to. And I think it's because to me, it's just a different style of love. Because a lot of men will not say, I love you to their other friends, to other men. They won't say, I love you. They say it in a different way, because what we value as men is the sort of like loyalty or ride or die level of commitment that we have to each other that stays unspoken. Sometimes you don't even know somebody has it for you until you're in trouble. So as men, we don't really say, I love you to each other like that. You know a man loves you when he says, dog, I'd die for you. Because we really just sort of keep it in life and death. Outside looking in, I'm not saying I know, I'm just saying from what I watch, it seems like women are very excited to give and receive love from each other. And as men, we're very excited to die. Oh, we would love to die together. That'd be preferable. Just let's die together. Yeah, no, we'll ride out right now, dog. Yo. And that's what I saw in that phone call when that dude called his friend. That dude loved him, convinced he was kidnapped. I was like, where you at? Let me know right now. Because so much of it is like about being hard, I suppose. Like as a man, you want to be not just respect, you want to be admired, you want to be hard, and it seems like being hard is the way to get those two things. It was this dude called his buddy, said sweet dreams. He's like, what you mean sweet dreams? What you mean sweet dreams? No, I'm just saying sweet dreams. No, what you mean sweet dreams? I don't have sweet dreams. All right, it's nightmares every day around here. Nobody worried about some sweet dream. What you dreaming about? Shoot, I dream about work. Maybe my favorite one, we're talking like top. One of my favorite ones is this dude calls. Hey, what's up, dog? Oh, I'm good. What's up with you? Nothing. I just wanted to call, say good night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite you. Just wanted to wish you a good night, man. He was like, how you know I got bed bugs, dog? Like, I didn't tell anybody about that. What's wrong with you? Why you... Don't be telling people my business, for real. We're talking like top 2-3 videos of the trend. There was this one dude calls his buddy up, and he's already giggling because he knows how his friend's gonna react. Because that's the thing, is that it's so funny how weird people react, because you can tell from the way they pick up the phone that they're close. Who they chose to call for a reason. And half of them, when they pick up, they're being silly anyway, Hey, what's up? If that's how you answer, you can't freak out when someone says good night. And male friendships are so important because at least for the guys that I know, they're some of the only friendships that tether you. They tether you to a way of seeing the world that is unconditional of other things. I'm not saying that when you have female friends or when you're alone, you can't get to the same place you can get with male friends. I just think it's very different. It's very different. Like if you went to one of your female friends after a breakup and you're telling her what happened, maybe she'll see your perspective, but she probably wasn't going to do the same thing as you were going to do. Whereas if you go to a guy after a breakup and you tell him what happened, one of two things is either going to happen. He's either going to see completely your perspective. Maybe he'll pump you up. Maybe he'll tell you were wrong. But he's going to see it exactly the way that you see it. Or he's going to be like, dang, I was about to do that same thing. That's good to know. Like I was about to ruined my whole life. Oh, thank God you did it before me. Okay. Oh, that's good to know. All right. Because I want that for the men that I see suffering from loneliness. I want them to have friends. Friends would fix the loneliness, and it would heal a big part of this thing that we see en masse from men. When you see a bunch of like angry men, some people are like, all these angry dudes just need a girlfriend. All these like incels just need to get laid. It's like, no, they need friends. like friends. Friends would fix things way more than I think we realize, because sometimes those dudes get a girlfriend. I know it doesn't seem likely, but it's true. No, fundamentally, I'm being serious, it's true. Sometimes the most like weird, nasty posting incel will actually get a girlfriend. And it doesn't necessarily heal everything, because now in their mind they're like, okay, this woman likes me. This woman doesn't think that I'm ugly. But all of these preconceived notions they have about women still remain. Whereas when you have friends, I'm not saying it makes you a wholly better person. It depends on the friends that you keep. You can measure parts of a man by the company that he keeps. But at the same time, when you have a bunch of friends around you, well-rounded friends that can hear what you're saying or can understand where you're coming from and can help guide you down a better path, that makes it better for everyone. You know, some of my best friends have shown me things about myself I wouldn't have caught otherwise. And it's not as if you even need that many. I don't even know if men could handle a lot of friends. We're not good at maintaining relationships in the same way, so 5 is probably enough. Honestly, 5, that 5th one, you're gonna forget his name once in a while. 5 is a lot. A lot of men have one. And once again, it falls into the categories I was talking about before. They have one truly close friend, one truly close male friend, and they either have just known him a long time, or it's their brother, or they went to war together. Yeah? But they have one. So when he dies, that's it. Because you're also his only one. I hope that we can get men to prank each other to the point of good mental health. I hope that it would be so dope if the next level of the prank is just like, hey everybody, I'm gonna go to my buddy's dad's funeral to support him. Let's see what he does. He's there at the funeral. He's like, how you feel, man? How are you doing? His friend's like, how am I doing? What you mean how I'm doing? What you mean how you trying to get knocked out? What you mean how I'm doing? Huh? What you mean how I'm doing? What do you mean how I'm doing? What do you mean? And then he cries on his shoulder, and that's the cry on the shoulder challenge. Like, you just have to ask how a man is doing over and over until he answers. And then he really needed that. It's really important, so have a moment together. Just see dudes like, next trend, just next trend is just like, you know, like the kitchen challenge, where you just like go over to your boy's place and just check his kitchen. Like, is it insane? Is it disgusting? Are there other things living there? I'd love to see, and we as a society will hopefully be around much longer. One day TikTok's gonna be pretty old. I want to see a TikTok challenge where it's just dudes calling each other out of nowhere, being like, hey, make sure you get your prostate checked. All right, we all 50 and up right now. Like, no, look, I'm gonna call him, tell him to check his prostate, see how he react, right? It's like, all right, yeah, because we both 55, so it's like that time, you gotta keep up with your health and everything. He freaking out. He's like, why you worried about my prostate, dog? It's something I hope continues, because I think it's nice. Out of all of the TikTok trends and the YouTube pranks, this is one that I think is genuinely good. Because you'll see these compilations of them, and then every once in a while you'll get one. This dude called his friend. He was like, hey, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? I'm all right. I was just calling, wish you good night and everything. And his friend was like, what? It's like, yeah, no, I was just thinking about you, so I want to say good night, sleep tight. You know what I mean? Have sweet dreams and everything. And his buddy was like, oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. You have sweet dreams too, dog. No, that's special.
Hey, brother, I was just calling to say good night and hope you sleep well, have sweet dreams and everything. And life is hard, I know, but you always keep your head up. You always make it to the next day. That's all we can do. And I just hope you know that there are people who really do love you, care about you, are thinking about you. And I hope tomorrow's better than today was. Also, I don't want this to disturb your sleep or anything, but they did get me, by the way, the ops. So I don't let it disturb your sleep tonight, but if there's something you could do, if you could get over here. I don't know if they want money. I honestly, I am frightened, but I'm gonna keep my head up the way you keep your head up, brother, and we gon' get through it. But anyway, sleep tight, sweet dreams. Night night.
We got a great show for y'all. Your headliner, you seen him on The Daily Show. You seen him all over YouTube. I need a lot of energy. Put your hands together, put your hands together, put your hands together, put your hands together. Give it up for Josh Johnson!
I've been taking stock of my friends and what's going on in our lives and everything. And I'll say that as men, we collectively don't seem to be doing well. Things are rough in lots of different areas, lots of categories. In the jeopardy of men, we are in jeopardy. Near every facet of life feels more confusing, more difficult to navigate in a way that feels like you are definitely doing the right thing. I do believe that lots of people are doing their best, truly. I just also think that... Okay, as an example, I can't read a map. I can't, like, you give me even if you gave me a map of this building and pointed to where I was right now and told me to get to a specific bathroom, I'm probably gonna end up outside. Like, I cannot seem to read a map. As much as I try, I end up turning it. So I tried to be a Boy Scout for a little while. It was terrible, and because when you try to be a Boy Scout, like when you really trying to go for all the badges at once, everything, and you really not getting anything, you are just being a problem in the woods. And one of the things was, like, I could not work a compass because I was like, so it's supposed to go in every time, right? And they were like, no, it's supposed to show you where north is by how it's positioned, but it doesn't have to point north every time. I'm like, oh, okay, because it's dangling. And they were like, well, did you let a magnet touch it or something? I was like, I don't see what that should have to do with anything. Like, they're like, no, well, the compass works off, like, the poles of so if you touch it with a magnet, it confuses the... So you got a piece of paper telling me where I am and where I need to get, and then you gave me a cup of metal that points anywhere it wants to. And somehow I'm the one that doesn't know what he's doing. Why are we even in the woods right now? We live inside. Have you ever thought of that? Try as I might, I could not read a map. Even if you lay the thing out, where I needed to go, where I was now, and the way to get there, it's like in practice. I couldn't close that gap in my mind because I knew that the map is a suggestion. It's a good one, but the map doesn't have to do all these steps. Even the compass is a tool, but if it's spinning, we might as well be Pirates of the Caribbean or something. Like, this thing doesn't help me at all. I don't know where it's pointing, and it won't be still. I'm being still, it won't be still. How does that work? Is north moving? Is north on its own journey? Try as I might, I could not seem to read a map, and that is what it feels like to, at least to me, be a man now. There's a map, and the map is laid out with lots of good suggestions, and you even get tools along the way to make sure that you get to where you want to be, which is being a successful man, being a good man, being, a respected man. But then in actual practice, walking that road, you're like, look, the paper says. But when I look around, it's tough. It is, especially with love. Like, in regards to, like, love, attraction, seeking someone out and meeting someone you like, trying to take it to another level. It can be difficult because if you are, I won't even say good, if you are at least a regular man, bad men have ruined everything for you. And I'm not talking about the, like, but I'm a good guy. I'm talking about if you are just a regular tax-paying citizen who doesn't do any crimes, and is generally nice to people, maybe a wave. Not even talking about a good, outstanding man. If you're just a regular guy, bad men have ruined everything for you already before you got there, right? It's like they showed up in the room right before you and farted. And then you walk in and you can't prove it's not you. But you know it's not you. You know you didn't do anything. And the bad man that farted has already left the room. We're all living in his wake. You know, and it's hard to find the actual bad man sometimes. Because, you know, he's stealthy. He's disguised. You know what I mean? You'd have to follow him around all day. You'd have to follow him every waking minute just to have the proof that he's a bad man. You would. That's why it takes years sometimes to figure people out. You'd have to hunt him down and then take the picture and run into the room and be like, he was eating beans. Those were his farts. You just have guys that maybe don't have someone to tell them how to go about life, like that, whether you call it a father figure or just like friends in general that can be that sort of guiding light of here's how you handle each situation, especially when it comes to dating. Like who you pick to be with is a huge part of your life, because it's gonna be most of your life picking people, you know. And we're not doing fantastic. And I say that as like not from a place of judgment, just from looking around. It's pretty apparent. You know, you look at the internet is fueled with so much anger, like so much hate. A lot of it is resentment for what people don't have or don't feel like they can get, you know, and it leads people to not take care of themselves. One of the most like attractive things you can do is take care of yourself. Just let the water. You know, I can tell exactly how depressed my friends are by how it smells when I walk in their apartment. Do you know what I mean? Like every once in a while you get like a little whiff here and there, and it's like, you just came back from a game of pickup basketball. It's gonna be like that in here. And then sometimes you visit a buddy and you're like, ooh, she left. Yep, she's gone. Like I have friends who, you know, obviously friends that are trying to date everybody across the spectrum. But one thing that I have found as a point of frustration is when people don't listen to me about things that feel they feel pretty apparent. You can take my advice, you cannot take my advice. It doesn't actually affect me. I just want people to be happy, right? And so a good example is like when your friend says he's got a date and that she's coming over, and you're like, here. And then he has the nerve to be like, what? No. You know what? Here is what? What is here? Or then I'll have a conversation, I'll have a conversation with some of the women that I know in my life that will not believe me when I give them advice about men. But I have no ulterior motive. I'm just like, hey, this thing is happening. Just so you know, I'm trying to be helpful. And it's weird because we as people accept a lot of things as an idea, in a big way, right? So you'll hear men are dogs, blah, blah, blah. Every man wants one thing. All guys are after the same thing. And those are almost principles that people live by. But then when you tell your friend, hey, that's a dog. And then she's like, no, not Mark. He's so sweet. It's like, what are you doing? We just established that and there's a level of frustration that comes with that when it would be like if someone came to you, right? Like a dog owner came to you and they were like, I don't know why my dog is doing this thing. And then you told them because you're someone who has trained dogs, been around dogs a lot. So you're like, this is why your dog is doing it. Oh, you also in this scenario happen to be a dog. So then you're a dog that's trained dogs and been around dogs all your life, telling someone, because you are a talking dog, you can speak, telling them why this dog is doing that thing. And then they're like, no. That doesn't sound right. But it is. It is. No, not Mark. He's so sweet. I've known him for so long. I'm telling you, that's a dog. Not Mark. Mark is the sweetest. You don't know him like I know him. Like, I don't need to know him at all. I know the 4 facts you've told me about Mark, so I know exactly what Mark is trying to do. No, not sweet Mark. I'm like, you need to stop calling him Mark. From now on, his name is Ark, Ark, Ark. That is a dog. You wouldn't believe the conversations I've had trying to be helpful. You know what I mean? Like, especially in like high school, like college. You try to help your friends and everything. Conversation. Wait, you mean to tell me that this guy is just hanging around me and secretly wants to be with me and is willing to be friends with me for years just so that he might have a chance, be my friend throughout all of my other relationships, and likes to go on these, like, not quite dates, but mini dates where we go to the movies together and then we get dinner and then we go back to my place and hang out and then fall asleep together. You mean to tell me that guy is trying to be with me? He thinks about being with me all the time. He wants to hang out with me more even. He always seems a little sullen and slow to text back when I start dating a new guy, but that's just because he's busy. There's no way that he wants to be with me. And then I have to be like, what do you think I'm doing? Oh, it's tough. And one of the things that makes it tough for like boys, but especially young men, is that there isn't a sort of roadmap, and I don't expect there to be, because like human connection is so nuanced, and what people mean to each other is going to be different by a different degree for every person. But I think that in like popular culture and as a general narrative, we have started to just straight up vilify a man's attraction in general. And it's something that I don't know how you recover from if that's the narrative that's out there. And I understand why people are hesitant. It's a thin line. It's a very thin line to walk as a dude who is attracted to someone and trying to act on that thing. Try and let them know you're interested, trying to make the first move. It's a tightrope, and it's scary to do. Not just because rejection is scary, but the thing you do next will determine how they feel about you probably forever. Because there's not a lot of going back you can do if you're friends and then you try to be more, or if you shoot your shot with a person you don't even know. All that stuff takes a lot of bravery. And it's not always going to be done right, especially when you're young, you're making mistakes, you know? Like, I remember in class, my buddy, he had the biggest crush on this girl. You know, and we're young, and he didn't know what to do with all that pent-up energy, so he's daydreaming, and he starts drawing her. Decides to draw her, and draws a beautiful picture of her, right? Like, got her hair as if it was blowing in the wind, got her face perfect. He was a really, really talented artist, right? So he drew her and he drew him. And then, just by happenstance, because he was so lost in it, he didn't catch that the bell had rung. And so we're all getting up, we're all leaving, and then she passes his desk. She sees it. And she's like, "Hey, is that me?" And he has to be like, oh, yeah. And he had drawn her so beautifully. She was genuinely touched. She was like, "That's amazing. You're so talented. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful." And I don't know, I think she was just so taken aback because none of us knew he could draw that well, you know? And so she was like, Can I have it? And he was like, yeah. And he was leaning on his desk right next to where he was finishing up some touches on her. And he's like, "Yeah," but now he doesn't want to move. Because he also drew him next to her. And he drew a version of him that is unrecognizable. He drew a version of him with abs. Y'all, we're 13. He drew a version of him with abs, with boulder shoulders, like truly looking like an anime character, just jacked, top to bottom, knuckles jacked, everything. Had the big old muscle behind the ear, everything. Hair flowing too, hair almost as good as hers. But you know, people are walking out and he already said that she could have it. And so she's like, "Can I have it?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah." Leans up a little bit, and so she finally sees the other side and she's like, "Oh." Is that you? And my man sat there and was like, "Oh, nah, like that's just the, you know, type of dude I want you to find." You know what I mean? Like somebody that, you know what I mean, like you really deserve, you know what I mean? Like you know, just somebody you might meet one day who's right in front of you. Because so much of attraction is about timing. We don't give timing enough credit. There's all this stuff like if one guy does one thing and another guy does the same thing, and the woman goes for one of the guys, it's because he's more attractive and the other guy's creepy, or we've seen this sort of narrative play out over and over again. But what we don't talk about in those situations is the timing. When did this person say this thing? When did this person say this thing? When did this person do this thing? When did the other person do it? You know, so much of attraction is about timing. And I've talked to my friends and I've asked them before. I'm like, what are you even looking for in a guy? And I'm like, "Oh, you know, I just want like an honest guy." And I was like, I'm gonna stop you right there. Because so many men are such freaks that you really gotta parse out the honesty over time. Some people think that omission is dishonesty, right? But omission might be why you're in a relationship. Because if you knew them top to bottom who they were immediately, it might make you hesitate. I'm not saying lie. I'm not saying be a liar. I'm saying that, like, honesty comes to a point. Like, let's say you meet someone. You meet someone that you very much like, and maybe it's just off of the connection, seeing each other from across the room. He walks over and he says to you plainly, "Hi, my name, right? I don't know you, but I'd like to. Would you have dinner with me? I think that we could have a really good time." You know what I mean? You see that thing alone. I feel like that's almost perfect. That's like out of a movie, right? But an honest man, a truly honest man, walks up to you. Honest from the bottom of his heart. Doesn't know how to lie. It doesn't come naturally to him. An honest man walks up to you and says, hi, I just noticed you, and I know I don't know you, but I'd like to. And I'd love to take you out sometime, if that's okay. And I'll suck your toes if you let me. Do you see where he should have stopped? Do you see where a certain amount of honesty was too much? It was true in both cases, but one guy had the common sense to stop talking at a certain point. Honesty is important. Honesty is very important. But I also think if you're being honest with a person and you're being self-aware at the same time, there are things that you omit on the front end until you get to know them. Some people think omission is lying, but I think omission timed well is like the appropriate time to tell someone something. You start dating a guy, maybe it's going really well. Maybe it's a week, 2 weeks in, slept over a few times. You know, you wake up, you roll over, he's like waking up as well, and he's like, "Hey, you want breakfast? I make some mean pancakes." Perfect. Wake up next to an honest man. You're waking up. You roll over, he's waking up. He's like, "Hey, you hungry? I make some mean pancakes, and I've actually been awake for an hour. I was just smelling your hair." Been dating somebody for a little bit. You're texting, you know. "Oh, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm good. How are you?" "I'm good. You know, miss you too." "Oh, how'd you sleep last night?" "Oh, slept okay." "You have any dreams?" "Yeah, actually I did." "What'd you dream about?" "Dreamed about you." Good place to stop. Fantastic place to stop. This is where you stop. "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm good. How are you?" "Oh, I'm good. You know, just, waking up." "Oh, you have any dreams?" Yeah, dreams. What did you dream about?" "Oh, I dreamed about you." "Oh, really?" Yeah, I dreamed about you, and we went on vacation together, and then we actually had this like whole vacation plan. We were in like the Virgin Islands, and then I got us this like surfing lesson because we had talked on the day of I want to surf. I don't know why I was dreaming about surfing, but I dreamed that we were doing this like surfing lesson together, and then like the surf instructor was like kind of hitting on you a little bit, and then like you were able to surf really well, like you took to it like a duck to water, and I was like over here falling all the time, and because you were doing so well, he was giving you extra tips, so he basically spent the entire lesson just giving you attention and everything, and then I was like fighting to not drown and just sort of laying on the board the whole time and everything, and then afterwards, after the lesson was over, he like slipped you his number, and so then we went to dinner, and while we were waiting on our food, I was like, oh, I'll be right back, and then I left the restaurant and I tracked him down, and I had a little conversation with him about, you know, trying to steal people's girlfriends during surfing lessons, if that's something that he really does, and if he does it often. He's like, no, and I'm like, yeah, and then we took another little surfing lesson. We took a little trip down to the beach, and I just sort of pushed his, you know where the sand and the water sort of splash, where the wet sand was, I just sort of pushed his head into the water until the tide was sort of going over it, and so I couldn't really tell if there were bubbles or not because there's so much wet sand and everything, but I just sort of held it there until he stopped struggling, and then I woke up. I think it's important to be honest. I do. I just think it's important to be self-aware too. You know? I'm not saying be a liar. I'm just saying, like, check yourself. Check in with yourself. Know who you are. You know what I mean? Know what that's going to sound like depending on the timing. Timing is everything. It's so important. When I was in high school, my boy, he finally asked this girl out that he had a crush on for a couple years, right? Finally just went for it. Something about summer just made him a new man. Asked her out, and she said yes. Oh, we're off to a great start. Asked her out, you know, asked her to a movie. Asked her to a movie, and she said she wanted to see Spider-Man. Okay, great choice. Phenomenal date. We both like Spider-Man. We don't have a lot of life experience. We're crossing over heavily. So he said he'd take her to see Spider-Man. Take her to the movies, see Spider-Man. That was their date. What she didn't know, what he did was he didn't just buy their tickets to see Spider-Man. He bought out the theater. And timing is everything. Because they get there and sitting down, lights get low, previews even start, and she was like, wow. I thought other people want to see Spider-Man. I thought it was a pretty popular movie and everything. And then he turns to her. With a biblical lack of self-awareness. After she says, I thought other people would have been in the theater, you know, with us, want to see Spider-Man. I've been hearing about it all week. He turns to her and he goes, oh, I made sure nobody would be here. Why even word it like that? What are you doing? He said that as soon as he said it, he saw the look on her face. He said it felt like she was waiting the whole movie for Spider-Man to rescue her. And that's why timing is so important. Because depending on when you do something like that, depends on how it comes off. This is a first date. Do you know what I mean? Even there are some people who would find that sort of gesture romantic if you said, oh, I'll take you to see Spider-Man. and I'll make sure we get our own private theater. Ooh, okay. That's different. But saying I'm going to take you to see Spider-Man and not telling her no one else will be there, even as you sit down, they have the popcorn, the drinks, everything. Middle of the movie, makes his move, tries to put that arm around her, right? And because there was so much room in the theater, she did sit one seat away. Because once he said it, I don't think, he just couldn't save it. There was no aspect of the rest of the movie where he wasn't like, you're locked in here with me. He said he had to keep turning to her the whole movie when stuff would happen, be like, crazy. It's wild, right? You know. Oh. And so it can feel sometimes a bit hard to find your footing when it comes to attraction, because everyone, from the people closest to you to the people far away, feel far away. If you don't really know how to connect, and especially now, we've built a sort of like scary parasocial connection with people that we're attracted to that they can't possibly know on the other end. And then it comes out in comments online. It comes out sometimes in whole articles. There's a line between like fascination and then crossing over into something pretty weird. I don't know if y'all saw, but apparently Sydney Sweeney, the actress Sydney Sweeney, is going to be selling bars of soap that contain her bathwater. Now, if you don't know who Sydney Sweeney is, she is an actress that is like, not just like an A-list actress, she is her generation's like top bombshell. Like, people have been freaking out and lusting over Sydney Sweeney for a long time. And is pretty creepy. It's like, don't get me wrong, she is a beautiful woman, but the way the internet makes sure that someone that you haven't met doesn't feel like a person to you is like why we have the sort of conversations we have. Because Sydney Sweeney is in not just lots of movies. She's in, Handmaid's Tale. She's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She was in Madam Web. She just has range, right? She does a lot. And the way that people, every time she is on camera, every time she's even mentioned, the way that people, almost as like an understood, acceptable amount of creepiness creep on her, has been something that's like compounded over time. Like, she was in Euphoria, and then she was in other projects, and it compounded, and it started to like become exponentially creepy. And I think that this bathwater soap thing is brilliant on her part, because now she'll know the 5,000 men that need to be put on a list. Like, trust me when I tell you, if you buy Sydney Sweeney's bathwater soap, you will never meet Sydney Sweeney. That's gonna be her hit list right there. It's insane. It's truly wild. 5,000 bars. It's gonna go in a second. It's not even out yet. Doesn't come out till later. Just the anticipation is like going viral. And I don't know. We might be in a very bad place we can't recover from. You know, 5,000 bars. I'm assuming they're only gonna let one person have each bar. Just get as many people on the registry as possible. I don't even know what you would do with you. Like, that's something you would get caught with. If as a man you bought Sydney Sweeney's bathwater soap, you can't let anyone in your life know you have it. That's everyone gonna look at you different. Because they'll know as soon as they see it, they'll know some things about you. Like, you were at your laptop ready. I suppose 5,000 men who are in a rough place are going to be buying this bathwater soap, which doesn't even make logical sense. It's dirty soap. And I say 5,000 men because I'm not saying that there's no women who have a crush on, Sydney Sweeney. I'm just saying that as men, we are both grosser and more practiced at using our laptops for these exact things. I'll tell you something that I don't even honestly, if I'm being 100% with you, I don't even know if I can word this correctly so you understand what I'm saying. I know a man who knows his favorite page of an adult website by the URL by heart. That is absolutely insane. Do you know how down bad thirsty you have to be to remember http:// baddiesonrollerskates.com / bracket B12 %, parentheses 2. I'm wondering how we got here. Truly, I'm wondering how we got here, not just as a society, but with the promotion, with the soap company. How did this happen? Because you know it wasn't Sydney Sweeney's idea. Sydney Sweeney didn't roll up in there like, you know what people love? Me. You know what I can spare? Bath water. Let's sell it. That's business. I think a sick man, a definitely sweating man with an unfortunate voice, said to Sydney Sweeney at a meeting, look, look, young lady. I believe, and this is just Jebediah Jones talking, all right? Because a lot of nasty men talk about themselves in the third person. This is just Jebediah Jones talking. But I believe that people would pay for your bath water. We make soap. You bathe. Let's make some money. Truly, I think that's how it went down. You know, because even in the tweets that I've seen about it, I think these are Sydney's words because they're in the quotations. But you know, in it, she's sort of playing off of the idea that this is a thing that people have talked about on the internet before, and she's like, well, you know, this is something people have been asked for. Figured it'd be a fun way to do it. I hope it just makes men think about taking care of themselves because I've been in some pretty gross dudes' bathrooms. That completely flipped the script for me. When I read that, I was like, what disgusting man made Sydney Sweeney go, I gotta do something. Sydney Sweeney is in your bathroom just looking around like, how the ceiling get dirty? No, I wonder what experience Sydney Sweeney had where she was like, I gotta do something, all right? I gotta figure it out. How can I get men to bathe? I'll do anything to get men to take a shower. Fellas, we're in a bad way. Because you know fundamentally every man that buys that bar soap needs it. This is rough. This is really rough. You know, because even with that general idea, right? When you hear that as a man and you tell other men, guys, Sydney Sweeney put her bath water in soap to get you to buy soap. Because she just wants you to take care of yourself. Dudes are so delusional. They'd be like, she cares about me? Wow. I like to check in on my friends. I was texting a friend. I'll read it to you. I was texting. No, I told him I was going to do it. It's fine. I was texting a friend and I was like, hey, did you see the Sydney Sweeney bathwater thing? This is crazy, right? Like, we're truly down bad as a nation and as a people. And then he responded, yeah, I can't believe it doesn't come out till June 6th.
When I